Welcome in. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Sheridan.
And together we're Sipping on Spice podcast.
And we treat these like a girls' night. So once a week, Jordan and I get together and we talk about a book that we recently read. And if you can see it together, this week we actually are together in person for this episode recording, which is Play Along by Liz Tomforde.
Yes, and we are huge fans of hers and the whole Windy City series, so we're super excited to sit down and talk about this. On this podcast, we rate everything on a star scale, so a scale of 1 to 5 on how good we thought the book was, as well as a spice scale, but our spice scale is actually a penny. Because if you can imagine penny pasta, you can figure out why.
Yes. And it is called Sipping on Spice. So you're going to want to grab a beverage for this. And I'm excited to kick this off. We should cheers.
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 IRL cheers.
IRL cheers. We think this may be a more giggly episode just because we are in person and this is a lot of fun. And we're excited to talk about this book.
Yes. Okay, so
yeah, I think I just want to kick it off. I absolutely love Isaiah. Like as a male lead,
yes.
Love him. He's so handsome and like he is like
through the pages. He was so incredibly.
But everything that he did just gave me all the warm and fuzzies. The sweetness. Oh my God! Can we talk about how he his almost like stress response, his like PTSD response, for lack of a better term, is to check in and make sure that other people are okay.
Yes,
like so romantic. So romantic.
His whole like character in general, I thought was like such a good like. I guess golden retriever, but like he just was so sweet all the time. Like his point of view, he was easily like one of my favorites.
Oh, totally.
Totally. Sit there.
Yes, I was obsessed with him, especially because I mean, one of my favorite tropes is pining. He pines hardcore for like years.
And I love how the second he sees the Ringo, he's just like, I see something missing.
I noticed it immediately, and he didn't talk her because like he has kind of like a reformed playboy sort of personality. He's a flirt, and he the female lead character says things are easy for him a lot. He talks about living until he notices the ring being off, and then he doesn't.
Yes, but I do feel like his playboy status. They do talk about it a lot. And I feel like Kai's book, right? Like Kai's book, I feel like they do build him up as just kind of a little friendly. Yeah.
a little flirtatious. A little, No, he, but like, you can just tell he pines and he's obsessed with her from the beginning. And I love at the beginning, he believes in fate. He says the day that they met where fate was fated.
Yes. Oh, okay, so one of my keynotes actually is that the date of all of these milestones and even into the epilogue, I was like, this is so precious.
It is. I know. So cute. And quick backstory, I guess, synopsis.
Yes.
That we should do. So this is the 4th book in the Windy City series.
Yes.
And Isaiah is Kai, who's book 3's brother.
Mm-hmm.
They had their mom passed away, and it was just the two of them when they were young.
Mm-hmm.
And then the female lead in this is, and he, as a professional baseball player, female lead in this, she, I guess to say, also has a lot of family trauma. Like her mom's really kind of crummy.
Yeah,
and
she comes from kind of like a money background, so it just seems like throughout the whole story, her real background and trauma is around essentially everything being like a business agreement. Like she hadn't been hugged by her moms.
Yes,
That
was wild. And some of the things her mom said in the book traumatized.
Yeah.
Like, there is something I really want to talk about. But okay, yes. So our synopsis is that it's the story of their love. She really wants to be a lead sports doctor for the baseball team.
Yes, and she is qualified to.
Yes.
But the main doctor on staff is pretty much really so demotes her immediately upon meeting her and realizing that she's a woman. And then essentially their story keeps going.
Yeah. Essentially. So then they do they have a drunken evening in Vegas where this is what I want to talk about. Her stepsister, because she was engaged. Yes. They meet, they've met before, but their romance kicks off when she's at her stepsister's bachelorette party in Vegas.
Yes.
Where she is getting married to her ex-fiance.
Yes. The stepsister is engaged to the ex-fiance because they pretty much picked him to run the company. So she wasn't moving fast enough, so they picked another daughter.
Which is crazy! Like, the audacity is crazy. Like, the disturbing, like, disgusting.
And like bragging about it.
Oh,
Imagine being
yes.
like throwing that in somebody's face. Like
that you're the second choice or
Yeah.
like whatever, and then he's only with you again because he wants your company, and then it's heartbreaking. When
Did you mean to?
I did. So it's like when it slips out at a family dinner, not only did it happen really quick after they broke up, she would set a date, they were cheating the entire time.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Oh my god, yes. Which I was kind of like glad that she apparently didn't really touch him.
Oh
Like that's always what I think of immediately. I was like, ew.
Can you imagine? Like there's just
That would hurt.
trauma, and then it's in your family for like
Ew.
you
did
can't really
keep it in the family.
It did keep it in the family,
Yeah.
which is nasty.
Anyways, they get married.
Yes, Isaiah and not the ex, Isaiah and Kennedy.
Oh my god,
yeah.
this is the worst note.
We're having a great time today. I think we've done a really good job synopsis.
If I were to read me instead of the book, honestly, I feel 5 stars.
We've got like the crux of the problem. We've got like the trauma.
They get married,
Yes.
and this is pretty much all about Isaiah trying to win her over and the time constraint she put on this marriage of them faking this marriage for 6 months?
Yes.
6 months, and all of their personal growth around it, and like essentially him trying to win her over. Obsessed with it.
So cute. And she has a plan all along at the end of 6 months, or at the end of the season, she's trying to get a job where she will
Actually be a lead.
Yeah, she will be a lead, and they really like her, so she's pretty certain she's gonna get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like the time. Yes.
That was hard. It was hard to know what to hope for her career.
I know.
Because like you definitely don't want her to leave. You spend that whole time being like, no, you can just stay.
Right.
But they did. I felt like she did such a good job of showing her point of view of being like, what am I going to do? Just throw away my career for somebody?
Exactly.
And like, I think that's a really fair question to be like, do I like, is this risk the kind of risk I take? Like this can change my whole life.
Exactly. And I actually like that the author had it go that way with like her internal thought track, because I feel like in movies a lot or just stories, it's like, okay, I've been working for this forever. It's something I really want. Oh, I fell in love. I'm going to abandon it. She does not do that, but she still falls in love, and it's super sweet.
I totally agree. And I thought it was a really interesting dilemma. And I love that Isaiah went as far as to like put it out there that he was willing to be traded where she went specifically.
Yes.
Like, again, to your point, right? It's the first book I feel like where like Liz actually like takes this problem and says like, well, what if he were to bend instead?
Exactly.
And I love that. Like, I love that it all worked out perfectly. But at the end of the day, like he chose to bend.
Exactly. I know, which is so sweet. And then she kind of does too when she doesn't take the job.
Well, yeah. Well, she gets perfectly offered, but she does. Well, you're right. She is taking the risk. She does take the risk
too, but he is also on board to take the risk. He also is the one. He's like, I will rearrange everything. I'll want to be traded to wherever city. Yeah.
Well, and she was gonna not put up with the lead doctor's name.
Oh yeah,
She's like, I'm done with this shit. I'm moving on. That's fine.
Yeah, he was terrible. Like he was terrible.
See, this makes me think of like in fantasy when we talk about like I want to watch them die like a gruesome. I realize I can't feel that way because that's like a little much. But it's like I'd like to see like a bar fight he loses. Yeah.
Or like he gets like just demoted very publicly. Like they have the ceremony and everyone has to go into the stadium and they're like, by the way, you're bad at your job. Like
or he's ruined and he has to like Bridgerton ruined.
Yeah.
He has to work for a female doctor for the rest of his life. That's the kind of indication.
We need these epilogue stories, Liz Tomforde. Please give us a little extra.
I want the fantasy abridged epilogue. I get my due on hating him.
Exactly. No, I agree. And I do want to talk about. Oh my God, there's just so many like parts like where I was like, oh, you just warmed my heart, Isaiah. You're so perfect. His favorite color is yellow.
Oh my God, of course that got you. I thought that immediately. Yeah. I was like, Sheridan's immediately going to be like,
oh, and she wore, so like in a SEC that they have, she wore yellow underwear on purpose.
Yes, his colorblindness was so cute. How he like didn't know what anything was, and then she just starts fixing his stuff slowly.
Oh, I know. That was so. They're like,
and he had to memorize what color her hair was.
I know. Oh, that was so sweet. Like,
the glasses.
Sweet.
The colors.
Oh my God. Okay, I teared up that part. Like I was like, oh my God. This is so sweet.
Literally could not. I was like, oh my god, I'm not gonna cry over this. You're not gonna cry over Colorblind.
But it was really emotional.
It
Like, it was so sweet.
It moved me.
It did move me too. Like, there are honestly so many parts. I'm gonna double check in my notes. There's so many parts in their romance were just like the sweetest thing ever. Oh my god, the first time, so she sleeps over, and then they kind of, this is just another point of how sweet and amazing Isaiah is. She sleeps over and leaves in the middle of the night, kind of early in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on in the book, they find out he like followed her. But, like, not
He
in a
followed her
creepy
home,
way.
yes.
I know, like in a really sweet way.
She tried to sneak out. I like
Yeah.
how he caught her trying to sneak out, and he was like, "We're gonna leave a note." He was just like,
gonna go.
"Gotcha."
Yeah.
I will say though, it was hard for me to understand why she wouldn't tell anybody she was a doctor after so many years. Like, I guess at this point in time in the timeline, I was like, why?
That's true. That I don't. Maybe it was have to do with like she feared repercussions. Maybe, but still, that is confusing. Why?
Yeah, that was the only part that I was like, I feel like Isaiah could have mentioned she was a doctor to the team, and then let them make their own decisions about.
True.
You know what I mean? Like and maybe that's just. I guess because I just wanted her to get what she's.
Oh, I know, and she's amazing. Kennedy's also a wonderful female lead, so I feel like I really liked her.
I did too.
So I had no qualms about anything she really did, because I do think she stayed pretty logical for the majority of it. Of well, I don't know. This is, you know what I mean. Like, to her engagement just ended, and now this guy who she sees flirts a lot, has a really easy, playful personality, is saying he's obsessed with her. So I think she took things logically. I liked Kennedy.
Okay, when he tells her he wants her to choose her life.
Oh my god, I know.
That all of her choices had been taken away from her.
Oh, I know. Oh my god, that was so sweet. I know.
I thought it was so precious. I was like, I just thought his communication specifically, I do think she took a long time to warm up.
Yes.
But I guess that goes back with her trauma of like literally never opening up to anybody. And probably the risk associated with that. But him wanting her to choose her life after saying she's never gotten to choose anything.
I know. Oh, he's like height of romantic. Just height of romance.
Thing after thing. Like, there was not a moment where I thought, Isaiah, that could have been better.
Exactly.
Not a singular moment.
And there's no miscommunication. There's no, I'm going to do this because this is what I think is best for you, or to save you.
Well, I guess there was a little miscommunication when she sees he goes up for trade.
Okay.
But I don't think that really counts, because I feel like they both know what the other's trying to do.
Totally.
It's not like an anger miscommunication. It's just like, Isaiah, what are you doing kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Because she also, again, why it's so sweet is even though she's slower to it, she doesn't open up quickly, she doesn't admit she's in love for a while, but she loves him too.
Yeah.
So she went,
The I live, laugh, love you. I laughed so hard at that line.
Cute.
And if that was actually the hardest part about you not reading the book, is I wanted to make that joke to you like 6 different times. And you hadn't finished it yet, and I was like, I'm just dying to tell you this joke. I just wanted to pepper it into conversation.
I mean, now we can use it. No, I live, laugh, love you. Like, I live, laugh, love this book.
That's
so
good.
Too
much. I don't want it.
Oh, wow. Okay, Kennedy. All right. Oh my god, there's actually so many times I was like, oh, I can totally. It was one of the first times I read a book where I related to the male character lead more than the female lead. Just because
because he liked the color yellow.
Yes, that's a big one. But also because he compulsively checks on people to make himself feel better. Which is, I don't know if you ever get stressed out text messages from me. And I'm like, well, how are you? How are you doing? How is everything? What am I doing to make myself feel better?
Making sure that I'm okay.
Yes. So I was like, oh my god, Isaiah, you're like, I see you, Isaiah. And the yellow. I was like, wow. Okay.
You might not be colorblind, but you're pretty much almost blind.
Basically can't see things and have really bad spatial awareness. So,
the parallels just keep
finding them. Going. I do not play Major League Baseball.
Have you tried softball?
I actually haven't.
I think it's
so maybe.
What if it's untapped?
I hear in my 30s, I have a new career ahead of me in professional sports.
You ever seen a professional 4-year-old softball player?
I'm not.
You need to put some time in yours.
Okay,
I'm giving you time to obviously hone your sport and work your way up.
When I'm like 50.
Well, I gave you 40.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you.
8 years?
8 years. You're right.
You're an adult.
That's true.
You played before.
No, I have. I've never played
You've
softball.
never played
I've never
softball?
played a game of softball. I played soccer, I did swimming, I did gymnastics for a moment, and that was terrible because I was terrible, but I literally never played softball.
I did gymnastics and I was terrible.
It's hard. Like, I know some people are just great, but
I didn't want to go backwards.
No.
Did you have that? There was like a Pac-Man chair you had to sit in, and it like they like roll you back so you can learn like the form of the backhand swing. Even that was stressful. I was like, no backwards, only forwards. Why would I want to go somewhere I cannot see with my most precious cargo, my cabeza?
You just seem very logical at a young age. You're like, this is like 8
I was like, I don't think that's it.
I'm okay. You know, actually, I thought of you the other day because they're on TikTok. There's these memes. It's like, oh, my frontal lobe cortex developed. I no longer do XYZ, and they use that meme for book characters on Book Talk. Like, oh, they grew up, their frontal lobe fully developed. And I thought of you because I was like, as long as I've known you, I feel like your frontal lobe was fully developed at like age 8. I feel like you were out there seeing the realities, being logical, seeing things that are, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah,
thank you.
Absolutely. But I do not think Isaiah's frontal lobe cortex was fully developed at 8, but he's still a wonderful man.
Fantastic.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so another thing I absolutely loved about this book, again, I can talk on and on about how much I love Isaiah. He says a comment about like, I'll share my life with you, but I won't share my food. And it was like I was reading about my husband in a book. Because literally, so whenever I go out to eat, I feel like whoever I'm with orders the better thing. And I always want their food. Always. It's like such a thing that I do, which is so annoying. So with my husband, I'm always like, give me some of your food. And
what do you got
there? And for those who like astrology, my husband is a Taurus, and they do not like to share food.
So as you know.
So as we know, he never lets me have any of his food in a very nice way. So, because he is a nice man. But he, again, the literal quote, I will share my life with you, but I will not share my food with you, is like, I've lived that. I've been told
you live, laugh, love that?
I've lived, laugh, love that.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's so good. Live, laugh,
I'm
love
going
that.
to crank it out all the time.
I'm going to get you a sign.
The signs in his house made me laugh so hard.
They're so cute.
The fact that everybody had like bought something and he just had this absolutely ridiculous house.
It's so cute. Oh, and they like helped decorate it for him. Oh my goodness. Did you also love like how he defends her pretty early on? Like after they elope in Vegas, then the mean team doctor guy who's a douche finds out and he was like, you're going to be the water boy basically to her.
Yeah,
and
he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Did we not have interns
exactly.
for that? I did
love
that.
I
loved, oh shoot, what's the new GM's name?
Oh, it was, I want to say Cassidy, but I'm not sure. Cassie maybe? It could be wrong.
I'm talking about the
owner.
The new
owner. It's a woman. It's
yeah,
like,
the woman who's taking over.
I thought it was Cassie or Cassidy.
It's like Rebecca or...
I can't remember, but yeah, she is the owner's granddaughter.
I'm pretty sure she just said too that Rio's book is going to be the last book in the Windy City
Oh,
series.
really?
He's next and he's last.
Oh wow!
Is this not an enemies to lovers boss romance waiting to happen?
It has to be.
How am I not getting this book? How am I not getting this book?
Liz, we love all your books. If you happen to ever watch this, we're obsessed with you, and we would love a monthly.
but not like a lock your doors kind of way. We'll pre-order your books.
Exactly. Anyway, she's great. She's great. She is great.
No, I want to see their relationship. They obviously need to fall in love.
They do.
Like, I think that's clear.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see it. I want to have front row seats to it. How do you feel about Rio being the next last book?
I think I would want to go back and reread Ryan and Indy's story, The Right Move, before Rio's book, because I feel like that's when we get the majority of his screen time, right?
You get a lot of it, but you also get him and Xander and Stevie.
True, but I think you get more in the first one.
He's best friends with
Indy. So I want to go back and reread that, but I'm excited. I mean, after this, I couldn't think of anyone else other than being introduced to him on TV. Yeah, having him have a book. I can't think of like that's cool. They're kind of going back to that tie. Another thing I love that she does in her books is she kind of always calls back in different characters.
Yes, like
I
they're
love
true
that.
friends that actually like still stay in touch and meet and have this whole like family dinner. I love the family dinner.
I know,
especially because that was like Indy's
like thing,
dream,
right? Exactly,
right? It was all the people,
exactly,
and you get to see her living it out. Whatever.
It's really good. It's really emotional. So speaking of that, you had texted me something that I was shocked to receive until I read more into the book.
Okay.
You think you may rank Isaiah?
Yeah,
Ryan.
I think I would. It's so hard. It's so hard because Brian is perfection. It's really hard to find a fault in Brian.
Yes.
but I think it's even harder to find a fault in Isaiah.
I 1000% agree.
You reached out to?
He doesn't ever even like
Waver.
cross any lines, waver. He never does anything where she would ever feel like, oh, does he really care? Like, lady, you know he loves you.
Well, and Ryan like had the whole beginning, I guess, where he had to like fall in love, I guess.
Yes.
But I feel like Isaiah is already in love.
Yes.
Like there's not like that.
No, and he's like the little, like the really sweet, adorable, like you said, golden retriever energy. And it's just too cute. Like, it's just too sweet. Obsessed. Me too. One of my favorite contemporary male leads. Because I do want things different. I don't know if you as well want things different between a fantasy male lead in a book and a contemporary romance.
100%.
They're different things.
This is exactly what I want in a contemporary male lead,
Yes.
especially when like his behind doors personality is what I always want to see in like the really quiet, broody type too.
Yes.
And I feel like they always fall short. So it was like Isaiah delivered.
He did.
Everywhere.
He did. Liz, Tomforde knocked it out of the park. Like with this one. Unintended with baseball.
Okay, so that brings me into my question for you, which is very
I'm excited.
Kai, Ryan, or Isaiah.
This is almost impossible. This is almost
I
impossible.
thought about it. I almost threw in Xander's, but I feel like Xander's, out of the tier of them, is probably our lowest.
Okay.
Like, I still do
Yeah,
really like him.
me
So it's
too.
hard, but I felt like it would be harder.
He was more of a playboy to be reformed.
Yeah.
So we just believe he's a playboy longer. That's why I think he's. Anyways,
I
okay,
see what
this
you
is
mean.
hard. This is really hard. And then Kai is just. Oh, I am a sucker. Oldest sibling who take care of their younger siblings. Like that is like I'm a
Single
sucker
dad.
for that. Yeah.
God, why am I so weak?
Yeah.
Single dad? It's like a trope that came up out of nowhere and was like, just be like that.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to say this. I'm gonna cry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to say that. Even with my love of like how he helps, like he's a great sibling to Isaiah and his relationship with Miller. I'm next with Ryan. I'm gonna marry Isaiah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can
that's
see
what I'm gonna do. It was hard to say I was gonna kill Kai though, because I do love him. I
I
do.
don't know if I could kill her.
Okay. Oh, so you're just like 0.
What if can I do a white choose?
You can change it up. You can do it. Well, yeah, you can change it up.
Except
You
the
can
two
do
of them are
shoes.
brothers, and that's kind of
Oh, so yeah, then you have
very
to pick
Penelope
Ryan.
Douglas.
It is. It is. So you have to pick Ryan. Then, so Ryan is your part of your throuple. Who's the other married person out of your throuple? Kai or Isaiah or Xander, I suppose. Who's coming back in.
Yeah, Isaiah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but it could be. I don't want to choose. Okay. This is really mean, and I'm sorry. There's a fire in the barn. Who would you rather save, Ryan or Isaiah?
Oh no! I was like so worried. No, who would I rather save, Ryan or Isaiah? I mean, again, it's going to be Isaiah, especially because I'm obsessed with him and he puts everyone else first. I feel like Ryan puts Indy first and his family first, but I feel like Ryan doesn't need me. He's going to find a way out of there. Ryan's going to find a way out of
But
the
in
barn.
this scenario, you're Indy, theoretically.
Oh, yeah. But I'm also just going to say Ryan's still going to find his own way out of
Run.
the barn. Yeah. Out of the barn on fire.
No, they're like trapped. You know what I mean? Like the things have fallen on both of them. You have to clear.
Oh
the
my
level.
god, that's such a sad visual. I
I
literally
can't
just
believe you've
envisioned
never
this.
played this game.
No, I've never played this before.
Yeah, you can only save one person.
That's gonna be Isaiah. It's fine, Shay. I apologize. It's Isaiah.
I really liked how she went from sport to sport to sport.
Yes.
Instead of keeping us in one sport. I thought that kept the series so fresh.
I agree. Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. And now I'm waiting for. I mean, no one's a football player, are they?
No.
So I mean,
This is the left.
yeah. So Liz,
Except
please
for
write
where's
a football.
Monty's?
True. Where's Monty's book?
Where is Monty and the new owners? I want to know what you think Rio's like trope is going to be. I feel like he's come across as a golden retriever, but I don't know if he's going to be in dating.
Yeah, I don't know either. I kind of feel like he's gonna be
Like a lot darker inside.
Yeah, I feel like maybe that'll be her darkest book of this series, maybe.
Because I feel like he's always like looking for something, you know what I mean? Like he almost comes across like he's gonna be the character who has like a really fluffy front and a really sad inside. Almost like Isaiah kind of treads on.
Yes.
But I imagine with how like his life has gone, I don't know why I just feel like he's gonna
be the darker male lead of the series. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that being deep down. I'm excited for that book.
Yeah, I guess we don't know who he is with yet either.
No.
And he did have tension with that one chick in this book.
He did. But I
So
don't think it's going to be her.
I saw a statement on it that we don't know her yet.
Okay, got it. Okay. I'm excited. I wonder when it will come out, because I'm trying to think, will Kai's came out? Did it come out last October?
I think it's next year. I think it's
Okay,
next year.
I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
As a wrap up, well, we got to do ratings. So how would you rate this book on a spice level, a penny level?
Penny level? Ooh. I would give it 3 pennies.
Okay, I would agree with you, 3 penny. Because now I'm talking about emotional spice. It's 5 pennies. Yeah, like the emotion.
Let's just
She really did with this book. I am not offended to say, because I have it physical, but I also read it on Kindle. And for me, reading on Kindle is easier at night.
I did the same thing. I bought it and I started reading it, but then when I was like going about,
You were like,
I downloaded it on my Kindle too, so that I could multitask. It's so hard.
But I was able to highlight on Kindle just all of the parts that emotionally devastated me. It's like almost the whole book is highlighted. On Kindle. So yes, emotional spice of life.
Does anybody want to hear poetry written by
I don't
Tomforde?
know that I can handle. Don't know. So yeah, I would agree though. Like spice, penny, 3 penny.
Spice, penny.
Spice, penny.
Is that how you introduce it? Spice, penny.
That's great. Okay, how would you rate it overall?
Oh, 5 stars.
Same, 5 stars.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a bad Windy Cities.
No.
I don't think there is a book in the Windy City series I didn't write 5 stars.
Oh, totally agree. Yeah, it was an amazing series. Liz Tomforde did an awesome job. Like, just one of our favorite contemporary authors for sure.
Can I talk to you about one of my dreams?
Yes.
The backstory with Madison from book 1.
Yes.
There's supposedly 2
Yes.
books. There's 2, and it's their story. It's the Madison's backstory.
Interesting.
Xander's friends who are married.
Yes.
Read it so bad, but it's like impossible to find. It's not on Kindle, and it's like if you do find it, it's like a resell of like sell your organs.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, now if anyone out there knows a place we can get it where we don't have to sell an organ, let us know.
It is
That would
going
be good
to
to know.
Well, I saw this thing where this chick said she asked her in person. I don't know who it is. And she said she asked her, and that she said she probably won't reprint it.
Oh, we'll reprint it, Liz.
And it's the fact that I know that it won't be reprinted that's making it
you
worse
want
on
it
me.
more. Yeah. What if one day you're just like, you're taking a day trip or you're going on vacation or I don't know, you go to a new secondhand bookstore and you're just exploring and then you just happen to see it.
If
I'm manifesting that for you. Manifest.
If I found it, I would be out of that store so quick no one would know. I'd be like, that was never there.
You wouldn't buy it?
Well, I mean, I would.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like,
I would
confused.
steal it.
I'm confused. But yeah, you'd just be like, okay, purchase. No one knew I was there. I'm gone. I run away.
I got your specific I'm gonna purchase.
You're gonna pay for it.
I'm actually a thief.
No,
I've never bought a book in my
we're
life.
assuming at the secondhand store that you're actually gonna go on, that I'm manifesting for you, and sending you. This is gonna happen to you. It's gonna be like $6. $6.
I thought you were going to say 6 bottles, and I was like, oh,
no,
what are we
$6, $6 to $8 at like some secondhand bookstore, and it's gonna be in pristine condition.
So, which sport of this series did you like the most?
Ooh, that's so
Sport.
hard.
Take the lead out of it.
So men are not like the male leads are not.
It doesn't matter.
Like I like.
You could mentally
sports.
You could mentally pluck in any male lead. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
I just want to know what sport in this series you enjoyed reading the most.
Since I'm a really big football fan, NFL fan, and since NFL was not represented, I'm going to go NBA as second choice. Basketball,
Ryan?
Yes, what about you? I know what you're going to say. I know.
I actually don't know.
So it's not hockey then. That's what I would assume for you.
But I did like reading about, I think the reason I liked the hockey series more, though, isn't because of the sport of hockey. I think I like seeing them be flight attendants with them.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like a difference. Like, I do
true.
like how most of them ended up working together. Like, if you really think about it, Xanders and CD work together.
Yes.
Indy and, I guess Indy is the only
Didn't really work with
Yeah.
him.
Then you had Kai, who Miller,
Right.
obviously through working,
Right.
and then Isaiah and Kennedy. So really, the only people who did not work together was Indy.
Right, and yeah, that's true. It's interesting. That is an interesting.
But I liked her book a lot too because I got to read about her. I think I like the flight attendant story.
So maybe you should branch off into more flight attendant women.
I think Miss Tomforde was actually a flight attendant.
Oh my god, really? I love that. Okay, that's cool. That's
I
really
think
cool.
that's maybe what I don't know.
Like,
it felt
connected.
real.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that makes sense.
It felt like well, and I feel like a flight attendant is something that at least I have always thought about, like in the back of your mind, like, what if I was a flight attendant?
Yes.
And all the like places you would go and things you'd see.
Totally.
I know it's not that glamorous, but you know what I mean.
Like it seems very glamorous. As a wrap up of this episode, absolutely adored this book.
Yes,
would recommend it to anyone who wants a good
anybody. And that's true. So for us, whenever we recommend, I feel like the first contemporary you recommended. So I started out with fantasy.
Yes.
I started out with the Avatar, getting back into reading, and went on a whole fantasy thing. And then you were like, "Are you willing to try contemporary?" And my first contemporary you gave me was Ryan.
Yes.
And ended up being my favorite. And then I ditched that whole series. And then the same for our friend who wanted to try reading, wanted to try contemporary. She's not a big fantasy person.
Yes.
We also gave her Ryan, and it was one of her
and she
favorites.
enjoyed it too. Yeah,
I think
it's a great series.
Yes, so I think if you're looking for something to recommend to somebody for the first time, the Windy City series is a good one to recommend because I think the male leads are just so well done.
I completely agree. And the female leads are actually really well done.
Yes.
Like all the characters, and you care about them. You really you genuinely care. And it's also a world, because we've talked about this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a contemporary world I want to live in and be a part of. Like, I want to be one of their friends. So we would recommend this book, and we absolutely love it.
Yep. So you heard it here first through the grapevine. If you like what you heard, please make sure to like, subscribe, follow, whatever it is you're doing on the device you're doing it. You can also check us out on Instagram and TikTok at Sippin' on Spice, where we add other little bits of content throughout the week. We hope to see you next week.
See you then. Cheers.
In life, cheers. Cheers.